Hey YouTubers, I just posted a video on LinkedIn that I'm not going to upload on my YouTube channel because I did it on my phone. It's easier for me just to do the video here on YouTube for you guys like this, right? And I was wearing a sweater. I was outside, so man. Anyway, I can review a little bit what I said. It's like I was standing in front of the school because I just got done dropping my kid off school. And I was like, what are our priorities? I mean, basically, all of our priorities are pretty much the same. You're always trying to capture what's best out of the current generation and pass that on to your children, right? That should be all of our priorities. You're always trying to, always prioritize our kids. And what are we leaving to our children? Now, is that our primary concern? Is your business idea is that part of your primary concern for your business? Now, if that's your primary concern as a society and that doesn't fall into your primary concern for your business, then what is your business doing? How does your business to relate to that primary concern? Very simple question. So, yeah. Is that your primary concern? If you don't have kids, maybe that isn't your primary concern. I don't know. That is my primary concern. What am I capturing about what is best of what we're doing now, but also creating a structure that will help my children become more successful, something that will support them to create better personal relationships. Do we have relationship classes in school? Do we have exercises to teach them how to treat one another, to mutually respect one another? That it doesn't matter what they go for or how they want to use their imagination, that they're just as valuable as anybody else, regardless of what profession that they choose. Is that what we're teaching our children? Do we have control over what we teach our children? Are we voluntarily putting our energy into a system that doesn't allow us to control what we teach our children? Because if you're voluntarily supporting a system that you don't have control over, what are you doing? You're wasting your energy, literally. And so, because of that, there is so much stress that goes around even being a part of the current education system. You can go in there and you can feel the stress coming off the people in there. I just went into my kid's school and I wanted to have an interview with the principal. Not today, just schedule one. And so I sent her some questions that I would like to ask her because that's what she recommended. But I could tell that, she was managing her stress is her primary job. Written all over her face. The way she interacted with me, the way she was interacting with everybody else. Her primary job is managing her stress. How are we, you and I, as a community, helping people reduce that stress so that they don't have to deal with that, right? If you don't have control over what you're teaching your children, that's stress on you. And if you're in charge of that system, that is like, I cannot think of one job in society that would create more stress than becoming the principal or the commissioner of a school district, right? Because that's everybody's primary concern. What are we teaching our children? What kind of legacy are we teaching our children? And if the structure we're teaching our children, if we're being forced to teach them things, and we're actively watching our children's lives go down the toilet because of the way society is structured and the way that we are structuring that education system, the kind of stress that you undergo is monumental. So I have more sympathy and empathy for people that are actively doing their best to just support in whatever way they can inside of a system that is narcissistic in nature because of that tendency in people to want to control one another, right? That it's a narcissistic tendency that manifests itself into a narcissistic structure in society, and all that does is create stress in every way you can think of. You're trying to control what somebody believes, right? If you're trying to control any behavior in any way, it's going to create stress. So, yeah. I think that's about as much as I had to say about that today. Pretty simple message today. On the flip side of that, I wanted to talk about, unlocking the mind and, states of nirvana. When you really get to states of higher states of consciousness and nirvana, when you can get into a place of unconditional love for everybody you've ever met and never seen, and feel the way people are interacting, even if someone's attacking you, and it feels like, because you know that the only reason they're attacking you is because of the trapped in some kind of illusion, like, you could possibly harm them in some way, or you're competing against them in some way, where all of us aren't equally valued and have the potential to work together to create something together, right? It all comes from just trying to make yourself feel like you have something to offer, and there's a subconscious need that you don't feel like you do have anything to offer, which is totally false. Everybody I've ever met has so many amazing abilities, and a lot of times it's just not unlocked because of that lack of self-belief. Like, you can't do that thing or whatever it is. So, so like every lunar cycle, it seems like I've come into higher states of awareness. And Saturday night, I think it was a full moon. I mean, I was in such a state of bliss and ecstasy. I can't even explain it. It was just like nothing I've ever experienced before. I'll talk about it maybe more in the next video. But this video, I wanted to prioritize about, what are we setting for our priorities when it comes to how we are positively affecting our environment, and what are we leaving to our children? If the business that you're doing isn't leaving your children something that is enabling them to work together in a healthy way, not in a narcissistic way, where you're creating hierarchies where they're trying to control one another. Hierarchies that serve themselves are different, right? When people are electing people that they want to serve them, and then have the power to immediately remove them if they are not, because power comes from the outside. It always comes from the outside. You're always humble to your environment. You're going to be humble to it whether you like it or not. Eventually, right? You can try and control it for as long as you want, but eventually every knee shall bow. That's that story. So, whenever you're in service to the whole, it kind of frees you up, but you also have to be, try and figure out a way to take care of your own needs if you're doing that. Hope this makes sense. This is a pretty short video. I'll try to organize a better video for tomorrow, but for Monday, think about your goals, whether or not your goals should change, and what are you creating for other people, and keep making sure that they're not dependent on you. Make sure that they feel whole. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you later. Bye.